years ago. But to Pippa, they were wild. Wild and free. "Done," declared Baz, putting the last piece of rubble in place. The fence looked taller than before, stretching seemingly without end along the rolling pasture. In the distance, Pippa could see Zephyr grazing, his silvery white tail swishing rhythmically. Farther away were the other horses. They liked to keep their distance from Zephyr, although so far he had caused no problems, not even with the mares. Beyond the horses was the oikos, the house, its sun-baked brick glowing golden in the afternoon light. Pippa glanced at Baz and understood his proud smile. After she had returned with him from the race on Mount Olympus and had seen it all for the first time, the pastures, the stables, the grand house with its courtyard big enough to enclose an olive tree, she knew at once how wealthy Baz's family must be. Only the wealthy, the hoi aristoi, could afford horses. Suddenly, she had been afraid to meet his family. Would they really want to take in a foundling like her, especially one with a horse to feed as well? "I have plenty of sisters. What's one more?" Baz had said reassuringly. "My family will love you. You have a way with horses." She did have a way with horses, but people were more of a puzzle. Baz was one of her two true friends, along with Sophia, who had won the winged horse race and now lived on Mount Olympus with the gods. Still, Pippa needn't have worried. Baz had been right. His family had welcomed her with open arms. To them, she wasn't a foundling. She was a rider, chosen by Aphrodite, the goddess of love. And Zephyr, he was a winged horse. Even without his wings, he was instantly a legend. So everything was fine. At least at first. Baz ran his hand through his dark hair. "I should find my father and tell him we're done." He paused. "Are you coming?" "In a bit," said Pippa, gazing fondly back at Zephyr. Baz gave her a reproachful look. "You're thinking of riding, aren't you?" Pippa shook her head. But of course, that's exactly what she was thinking. The moment Baz was out of sight, Pippa hurried to the stables to pocket some figs. They were Zeph's favourite. If she was quick, she and Zephyr could be back before the storm. Helena wouldn't have time to notice that Pippa was gone. When she reached Zephyr out in the pasture, he was as eager as she. His silver tail was lifted high and seemed to float in the wind. His forelocks stuck up too, like a tiny horn, and she smoothed it down. She hadn't brought a saddlecloth or reins. With Zephyr, she didn't need any. Quickly she vaulted onto his back, a move that took strength, but had become second nature for Pippa. Then they were off. They rode past the fields of olive trees and barley that grew green and gold beside the river, past the vineyards where the grapevines were just beginning to bud, past the other farmhouses that glowed with the last slips of sun. Soon they entered the small town and the agora, the marketplace, where lyre music filled the air and servants and slaves haggled with traders and stallholders over the price of cheese and olives, eggs and bread. Children scurried by, laughing, rolling hoops with sticks, and pulling each other in toy chariots. But when they saw Pippa and Zephyr, they stopped to stare and whisper. Everyone in town knew about her and Zephyr, the winged horse without wings. In the centre of town, on a rise, Pippa could see the temple built to honour Zeus, king of the gods, although none but the oracles and priests could go there. Soon she'd passed through the town and was back into the countryside, the cobblestone road turning to dirt. The sun warmed her cheeks, and she breathed in the sweet, fresh smell of river and earth, horse and hay. Nearby, the water lapped at the river's banks. The gentle clip-clop of Zeph's hooves and lullaby swish of his tail made Pippa beam with pleasure. There was nothing she wouldn't do for him. She pressed her legs into his sides, coaxing him to gallop quickly by the hut of the old crone leader,